The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey, I'm Michael Watchering, and this is SeeingEagles.com. The Lady Eagles get set for a trip to Lenoir-Rhyne. And, Coach, despite all the injuries and whatnot, the defense has kind of been the biggest issue over the last three games. The three of the four highest outputs in terms of opposing points have come in those last three games. Right. What do you do to correct some of those issues?
Well, we've talked about some different things that we can do, but, we like to play man-to-man. We talked about going to zone a percentage of time and that kind of thing, and I don't prefer zones because every time we've gone to a zone, I feel like people have played really well against us and scored. But I think we can play better on the defensive end by playing man. Our press, we haven't been able to press as much because we're lacking bodies. And then, with JJ and Lacey being out, those were two of the better defenders to go along with Whitney that we have. And now that 2/3 of those are gone, I think that's really kind of hitting us now. And I think with losing JJ, it's really hurt us in terms of somebody up there putting pressure on the ball and be able to keep them out of the paint. So I still think we have a team that can play better defense. It's just we've been in some high-scoring games here these last three games, and offense is not our problem. It's certainly on the defensive end.
You've basically had to reinvent yourselves in terms of your rotation, something that you definitely don't want to do with 7 games left in the year. That being said, however, you're still in a good spot, tied for third in the conference, a very good overall record. How do you ensure that the girls look at it in that regard rather than you're in a tailspin?
I think the attitudes right now are really good on our team. They know what's happened here the last 3 games in particular, and certainly this entire semester, really. And they know that the last 3 games we've played, we could have won them all 3, or you could lose them all. Of course, unfortunately for us, we lost all 3 of them. But, we got to get the bleeding stopped. Don't have an easy challenge ahead of us going on the road at LR, which is always a tough place to play, and a team that plays well at home. So, I don't know. I think it's just keeping their spirits up and keeping their heads up, knowing that they're a good team. You're not getting blown out. You're in games, and you have a chance to win those games. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of keeping your confidence, keeping your head up, and continue to work and fight, and hopefully we can get this thing turned back around.
You look at this Lenoir-Rhyne team. They've lost 6 of their last 7. They really struggle to shoot the basketball from the outside, but still dangerous with Jasmine Charles out there scoring, I think, over 17 points per game. What kind of issues do they present as a whole?
Well, they play really small, so all 5 of the kids, everybody they have on their starting 5 in particular, they can put the ball on the floor and go to the rack. Now, granted, they're not great outside shooters. Gus is pretty good, or not Gus, but Charles is pretty good at it. But and Gus is a good player. But, there's mismatches for us on the defensive end, and they're a really good defensive team. They're one of the better defensive teams in our league. So going on the road, we got to make sure that we can still put the ball in the basket, and then in turn we got to be able to hold them down and not let them get drives to the basket, because that's where they're really good. Whether it be zone man, they're able to get that thing inside the paint, get it near the basket, and be like LR teams have always been, getting layups and one-footers. So we got to really limit them, and then in turn we got to still be able to put a high number of points on the board.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck tomorrow, Coach.
Thank you.
That's Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watchering, and this is SeeingEagles.com.